You're welcome back. This is Newsfile. It's your most authoritative news analysis platform. And here on Newsfile, we put Ghana first. And joining us now is Kwabena Abankwah-Yeboah, who is Vice Chairman of the NPP. He's Vice Chairman of the Presidential Election Committee, and he's a former National Treasurer of the party. Thank you very much for making time to join us, sir.
You're welcome.
Right. So this show is brought to you by the candid sponsorship of Bank of Africa, as strong as a group and close as a partner. MTN everywhere you go. Ashesi University, educating ethical and entrepreneurial leaders for Africa. Robert & Sons Optical Services, your comprehensive eye care service provider for 33 plus years. My Way Insurance, dial *165# on MTN to join My Way today. Syntax Times, it's strong, it's tough. Safari Valley Eco Park, bringing you closer to nature. When you are done with your delegate work, yes, all of you who have money and those who are getting money today, find time to go to Safari Valley Eco Park and take a little relaxation. Gold Board Jewelry, pure, precious, proudly Ghanaian, Core Natural Juice. It's 100% cocoa fruit juice. And Melcom, your #1 shopping destination. We are live on Joy Prime as well. Thank you all for being with us. So let's go to Mr. Abankwah-Yeboah, because they are the ones who are in charge of the Presidential Election Committee. How far has it gone for you? Has it met your expectations so far? You have about 2.5 hours to close poll and to begin counting and so on.
Well, thank you very much, and greetings to viewers. I must say that by the grace of God, things have gone so well in what we anticipated. And in fact, I would say a big thank you to the Electoral Commission and the IGP for how far he has brought all the setups and what we agreed upon into being. So far, we haven't had any incidents. And polling, from my information I'm getting from all the regions, have gone so well. And I'm praying that it will continue until the time 2 o'clock, where we'll do the counting. My instructions are that even if voting or people meant to vote in a particular polling station are exhausted, still they'll have to wait till 2 before the counting is done.
Before the sorting?
The sorting and the counting is done.
Okay.
So they're not going to say that because all the names on the delegates list are over, we're going to, no, that's not what they do.
We hope that they listen to you and the people of your class within the party. We know that you command enormous respect to the point of reverence, and there's a reason why your kind were chosen to lead this process. But so ahead of today, we had heard some complaints, even yesterday, about things that appeared, to disfavor a particular candidate.
Those were, I would say, those were falsehood and wrong speculation. Because from the word go, the idea was that, as my previous chairman, because I was a member of the previous committee as well, Michael Kewu said, would say that everything, the winner should be won, or the fight should be won in the ring. So we made sure that we created an environment where everybody will be at peace. And so we started by making sure that all our meetings, we had in attendance representatives of the 5 contestants. First of all, through the process of validation of the album, exhibition of the album, and all that. Then also meetings with the Electoral Commission. We also made sure that all the 2-3 meetings we had with the Electoral Commission, they're also present, because we handed over all the electoral process, even venue, to the Electoral Commission, so that nobody or no candidate will say that, oh, this particular polling station was chosen because of ABC. And where they had problems, they brought their views up, and they said polling stations were changed. Likewise, the meetings we had with the security services, we had about 3 meetings. They were all present. So we've involved them from the beginning. And normally, as a production, they will say quality is built up into the process. So we've involved them such that nobody at the end of the day will come and say, no, I've been shortchanged or things did not go for me because of A, B, C. And whatever complaints we had to resolve them, you know.
So going into the process today, there have not been complaints that have been outstanding?
No, there haven't been complaints. I know I was listening to you and Ata Kennedy brought these, some forfeitures and all that. The constitution of the party is clear that when you go, you know, in support of independent candidate or you leave the party, you know, and file your own candidature at the parliamentary processes, you forfeit automatically your membership. But before we started the process, that was in July, the National Executive Committee and National Council granted some amnesty. But those amnesty that was granted was for all those who were suspended and all that. But those who had forfeited, it was for them to apply to be taken in, you know, onto the register. And even that, they would be active only after 2 years. So all these things were considered, and we came out with the final register without any problem.
Right. Hold on quickly for me. Samuel Abu-Jinapo is former MP. Is he former? No, he's MP, current, Damango, and ranking member, Foreign Affairs Committee. Thank you very much for making time to join us. He's former Lands and Natural Resources Minister. Are you in your constituency to vote, and how are things looking like this morning for you?
Thank you very much, Samson, for having me. Yes, I'm in Damango. I'm here to vote.
All we have heard, particularly for the committee that Mr. Bankwayabwa is part of the leadership, has been generally of praise for the work they have done. But this morning, do you have any concerns that you believe that are outstanding that they have not addressed?
Well, thank you very much, Samson. First of all, the process is going on very smoothly here in Damango. It's extraordinarily smooth, and it's going smoothly across Savannah region. And the reports we have is that it's going smoothly across the northern sector of our country. And I think Mr. Bankwayabwa and the Honorable Joe Wise and co have to be commended and saluted highly. I think they've done such an extraordinary job for our party. And what is happening today is part of the process to revive our party and to rebuild our party. And I think they've been great patriots, and they've acted fairly. They've done such an extraordinary job, and it's all manifesting today. And you will see that we have just about 2 hours to end the polls, and the process has been absolutely peaceful and very smooth. I should say that the healing process for the New Patriotic Party is going on very well, and the party is healing quite well. And I want to believe that by the grace of God, it will go on accordingly. And as they say, the voice of the people is the voice of God. So when it's all said and done, whoever is elected, we will all rally behind the person, crucial election of 2028.
Of course, initially, your team was not excited about this disqualification of the diaspora vote, proxy voting issues. But now you are fine.
Well, I think in an election, you cannot have everything according to how you probably will wish for it. And I want to believe that the election planning committee, the presidential election committee, working alongside the electoral commission, had good reason to put all the measures they put in place, not just the ones that you've mentioned. What is important is that this process is going on smoothly. It's going on smoothly here in Damango. It's going on smoothly in the Savannah region. And that when it's all said and done, the winner will be the legitimate winner of the election and will be the legitimate leader of the party and will have the legitimate mandate and authority to bring everybody around the table. And those who do not win in accordance with the best traditions of the NPP since 1992 will rally behind the winner for us to go into the crucial election of 28. So I think that the process has been excellent, and so far nobody should have any cause to complain.
Yeah, but people have concerns that it's most likely that this time round the healing process may not be as easy as you say it because of some of the exchanges that have happened, particularly in the dying, days to today.
Well, you're right, Samson. In an election, if you don't win, people put in a lot, put in money, they put in logistics, they put in their emotions, physical, and all of that. So it takes time, and time heals the best. And it takes time for people to heal and come around. But I also think that as members of the party, it does not matter how the contest panned out. Some of the utterances and some of the occurrences in the course of this campaign are most unfortunate and unwelcome, but they've happened. But what is important is that when the elections are over, and that's what has been the case since 92, when Professor Dubois was elected, President Kufuor, Mr. Selby, and the rest all supported him in 1996. When President Kufuor was elected, Professor Dubois, Nana Akufo-Addo supported President Kufuor in 98, and it's been a tradition of our party. I believe that Mr. Abankwah-Yeboah, leading members and respected members,
in those contests, nobody called the other a liar.
Well, in some of those contests, a lot of things were said. People said that cassava that has been taken to the market and wasn't bought and is rotten cannot be taken back to the market. A lot of things get said in political heated contests. I don't welcome that. I don't think using language like that is welcome. We should have politics of decency, decorous politics without insults. I agree with you on that. But I'm saying that whatever the case is, ultimately, it will be the responsibility of the leadership of the NPP, and as you say, also the man who will be elected by the end of today, to bring everybody together for us to rally behind the elephant for the election.
How come executives of the party were, prohibited from showing their preferences, but you, the MPs, almost all of you have shown your preferences? Do you think that has helped?
But we were not prohibited. The MPs were not prohibited. And the MPs have aligned with presidential aspirants over the period. In the past, the parliamentary caucus have always had a say. I think that there's good reason why national executive officers and regional executives were expressly prohibited from aligning with particular political parties. And also don't forget, Samson, that the novel arrangement we have now, where we are electing our presidential candidate ahead of internal reforms, internal elections, i.e. polling station, electoral area coordinators, constituency, regional and national executive elections, will also help. So what it will mean is that when the presidential candidate is elected and we then go forward to elect the executives of the structures of the party, you may not necessarily have the current executives manning affairs moving into the elections. Members of parliament, yes, we will stay there till the election is due. But whoever we have aligned with, I think that we should be matured enough and we should love our party enough to be able to support whoever emerges.
Okay, let's hear what message would you have for what message would you have for those who are voting across the country as far as the conduct is concerned? Finally.
Samson, I think where we are, I support Dr. Mamadou Bawumia. There's no secret about that, and I'm going to cast my vote for him. But on a day like this, where we've gotten to, we should see what is happening today as part of the broader effort by the party to revive the New Patriotic Party. And we should be honest and courageous enough to admit that flowing from the election of 2024, the NPP requires revival and healing, if I should use your word. And indeed, what is happening today should be seen within the broader context of effort by the party to bring the New Patriotic Party onto its feet for election, the crucial election of 2028. And so far, so good. And this is why, really, what is happening today and the conduct of this election and how it's panning out is so refreshing and so welcoming.
Right.
And therefore, the few hours the sorting and counting left, we should focus and make sure that we discharge this responsibility creditably and give the New Patriotic Party a good name.
Right. Hopefully there's no showdown. Thank you very much, Samuel Abujinapo. He's now going to cast his ballot, like a good number of those in positions or who have responsibilities to perform. They are now going to do theirs. Dr. Arthur Kennedy, sitting from where you are in the US and observing the process. Okay, so I'll get to Dr. Arthur Kennedy later, but Dr. Sakwapong, I'm sure you have followed your mother's party and how things have gone on so far. How are you processing the lead up to today and today, and of course after today?
So it's been, if you look at least those I've followed on social media, some of the things I've read in the lead up, you can see that it's been quite, to put it politely, intense rivalry.
Acrimonious
at times. A friend of mine, though, says to me, we are seeing more of it because, for example, we are in the era of social media that amplifies some of these acrimonies, because prior to the era of social media, it could get just as intense. So I've been worried about that part because sometimes I think in internal contest, our parties fight so much that I keep saying, but have you forgotten who the real, quote-unquote, political enemy is, right? That they fight as though the general election is going to be two candidates from the same party and not from two different
but this kind of
parties.
Is supposed to be expected as a natural consequence of any context.
Correct, but I mean, there are sort of moments that make me cringe, especially because for me, I'm not a big fan of, I know politics is adversarial in nature, but I'm still not a big fan of adversarial politics, right? That sort of hard-hitting at each other's throat. But here we are, by the end of today, we would have a flag bearer. When the NPP announced that they would have their internal elections, I thought it was a little too soon. I used to say, well, process all the lessons from 2024, do all of the internal restructuring things. But in hindsight, I can see why they want to get it over with now, to give both the party and the elected flag bearer enough time to do all the, post-primary things, especially the reconciliation, the healing, just as you said, ensuring that after a bruising fight, everybody can find a way to sort of move on, make peace, my favorite word, and think party first and not whether my side was victorious or not. But that would also require for me the winner being gracious in victory. Usually I tend to put the responsibility more on the winner than the loser. Yes, the loser's consent, acceptance, and all of that will be very important. But I hope that when all is said and done, party first, and whether my side won or lost.
If reconciliation is at the center, then perhaps they should vote Educhum.
Yes, but if you also look at, the polls and everything, you just realize that, some candidates have a stronger chance of winning, than other candidates.
I was going to ask a question which I thought may be unfair to you, and I turned it that way because I was going to ask you, who makes it easier, the healing process for the party, and also to heal in such a way that puts them in a position to make a great comeback in 2028? Who among the five will do that for you?
So here's how I would answer it. It all depends on how you embrace your victory or your loss. I'll use my mother again as an example. Big fan of Kennedy Ejapong, right? But she would also say to you that when the primary is over and the party has selected a given candidate, I put all my primary interest and support behind me and, sort of transform now to say, hey, I wanted person A, but person B won. It's the party's choice. That's what I'm going to go with. If everyone can adopt that kind of mindset and attitude, then for me, that healing process becomes easier. But if you had any grievances leading to the primary or even on the primary day and you keep dragging it, that makes it more challenging.
From where you sit,
from the party.
From where you sit, not from a party perspective.
Yeah.
You're a stakeholder of in this democracy.
Yes.
And at CDD, you are doing a lot to make sure that this democracy survives. Of the five, who improves our democratic lot?
Samson. I don't think that's a question I want to answer publicly. But when I say I prefer a certain style of politics, then I'm sure you should be able to read in between the lines and see who I think presents that sort of less adversarial, more reconciliatory approach kind, to politics. And
that would be any apart from your mother's choice.
Hey, I didn't say that.
Yes, Tanko Rashid.
Yes.
The NDC is so much interested to the point that you have been saying that you are going to conduct a parallel what?
A coalition, in fact.
Parallel coalition.
Yes.
Is just talk you are doing, or you can actually do this?
We are serious about it.
But how are you doing that? Do you have people on the ground to do that?
Yes, you can see that I'm so busy on my phone. We have observers in all the centers, the 270 stations. We have observers. We deploy observers across. I've set up 17 laptops connected. Each laptop is connected to a region. You see, there are 16 regions, and then their head office.
Okay.
We don't trust these people because you see. Run out to this election.
So your famous cameras are on.
Oh yes, we are monitoring them closely. Look, this is our democracy. We have to protect it. The sanctity of our electoral system must be upheld. That's the most important thing. We are partners in this. They are our opponents. They are not our enemies. And so we should be interested in what our opponent is doing in order to safeguard our democratic credentials. And so when we realize that this party is on each other's neck, saying that internal election, one of them is saying that they rigged the election, the 2023 election. He won certain areas and they changed the figures. Now, if internal election, they can rig among them, so what would they do at a national election?
So that in your parallel coalition,
yes,
you come forward and say, I have evidence of rigging, and so the results as declared by the EC. It's not authentic.
Of course, we have to let the general public.
So what? You go to court?
We have to know.
Because you don't have capacity to go to court to question their elections.
You see, the political parties are public entities, are not true. And we should be interested in whatever they are doing. Because in the likely event they come back to power in some 30 years or so, our taxes are going to be managed by them. And then so this group, we must be sure and watch what is going to come out from them. But in any case, we are not expecting any surprise today at all. As a party, NDC, we are not expecting any surprise.
What do you mean by that?
We know this process is cooked and designed for Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia.
This is an unfair statement.
It's a fact.
He's been on the ground campaigning just like that.
You know why we are saying that?
Why do you say
the
that?
designing of this process, a group, I usually describe the Alisa group, that was where they went and started and designed that they should have a top-down approach. And that instead of them to go and reorganize the party from the base, they refuse. So they decided
not cast in stone. It's not
the
stated anywhere in any legal book or moral book or anywhere that there is a principle that you must do it from bottom up and not top down.
Council, I agree. I agree perfectly to what you are saying. Legally, they have nothing is wrong with that. But you see, when you have a party, a very strong political party, NPP, I've monitored them since 92, since the Rucha chairmanship and all. It has been a very strong, formidable party. They started declining somewhere around 2007, down all the way. And now you see that the parties resemble certain parties now because of the nature of their reorganization. a ruling government went to election and lost massively this way. Very massive.
Because of obvious economic situation that we saw.
But you see, my sister is not here. I would have answered it for you. She told you that the economy was in a recovery mood before they left. Recovery mood, and you got this thing. They said I shouldn't mention those figures.
But that was obviously too late. But that's a fact that the economy had begun.
No. It couldn't have. It couldn't have. You can't have 23.
What was the dollar? What was the dollar by the time they were
17
when it got to the peak?
17.
It was 14.
Oh, 17. We took over from there.
No.
They sent it to 53. Inflation went as far up to 53. At that time,
by the time we were taking over, inflation was.
It came down to 23.
Correct.
Who brought it down there?
That's recovery.
Is it not the same
recovery?
I'm saying that.
That's what she meant. So you are just confirming what she said.
You send me to 53. A lot of people died because of this. Their economy.
And for that reason, they got punished.
So because they got
punished at the time when the recovery was setting in. That's what you are being told.
I am saying that if there was a recovery, Ghanaians wouldn't have given them 87 seats in parliament. And their presidential candidate was struggling to cross 40%. They wouldn't have gotten that way. At least they would have been managing somewhere around 47, 48%. And to have been very close because they've seen that a recovery is going on. There was nothing recovery. People were suffering. People were dying like chicken in this thing. Then they counted businesses collapsed.
Saying that the facts you have narrated yourself, the two facts, don't confirm what you are saying.
I am saying that this thing that we are seeing, because they sent us to 53%, and Ghanaians were crying, they said they were recovering. They came down and they were coming down to 23. After 23, Ghanaians saw that these people, they were at their wit end. There was nothing they could do about it. The only thing is to get them out. Okay, even their own party people wanted them out. Okay, now they've lost massively. Instead of you to go and reorganize your party, change the people who sent you to get this less than 40%, and then 87 in parliament, they refuse. They want the same group to elect a presidential candidate for them. Do you think they are going to change the presidential candidate?
But they are still following your example. You didn't change on Mahama.
We went for election.
You didn't change him.
We went for election.
Those who dared to contest John Mahama, we know what happened.
Do you know what we did? We organized a party from the branches after the 2016. 2022, I was in Ashanti region. I helped in the organization of Ashanti region and Eastern and all that. To do the branch elections. After the branch election, we went ahead to do constituency, regional election, national election. I was a member of the National Election Task Force that organized the national election. That elected General Mosquito as chairman and there are
because they haven't done it your way. So
I am saying not our way because we wanted to reorganize the party effectively, and that made the party very strong, had a good pedestal, and that's why we gave them this demolition tax in 2024.
How many people did you change in your national executive?
A lot.
Executive.
A lot. The face of the national executive changed. And the regional too.
But they have not had that election now, so you can't tell if somebody
So I'm saying that if they had done that, the narrative today would have been different. It would have been completely different. I don't think
that's a presumption, though.
Not a presumption. It's because on the ground,
telling.
You see, on the ground, I say I have observers there. They are all over the place. They are sending you a lot of messages. We'll start bringing the results by 2:30 thereabout. You see. Because we don't trust them. They will come and bring cook results to make the candidate look nice in the general public that he has scored this, which will not be the reflection.
You don't trust the Electoral Commission, which is organizing this?
No, I don't trust them. You know,
the Electoral Commission you don't trust is the one whose back you wrote to be in government.
Council, since 2024, we've never trusted this Electoral Commissioner. You know, we fought them. We said they were our first primary opponent in the election. Our second primary opponent was NPP. So we never trusted them. So why should they trust them? So that's why we have our coalition center. We want to be sure that these people don't come out with any figure.
Right.
That's different from the delegates.
Right.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes,
Rashid, this is the first time meeting you. Chairman. This is the first time meeting you, but
Chairman.
I have a problem. The problem is that you've won your elections. You are ruling the nation, but always you go back and do propaganda. And I think I will take exception to some of the things he said, because I'm on the committee.
Right.
For you to say that we have cooked, you know, the election for one person and all that, I don't think it's right. And I'll believe that you may have to redraw that. The second thing is that you said people were dying like chicken. That wasn't the case. Even during COVID, where America, the United States, could not even handle their COVID situation, we were able to handle it as a country. So we should move away from the politics and let us tell the truth, at least for once, to the nation.
We can stay with the politics, but it should be factual.
Factual, that's truth is facts. So the factual, so that at the end of the day, we are not at each other's throat, but rather we are working in the interest of the nation. You understand? But where you try and derogate others, for example, when you say such a thing whilst I'm seated here, that we've cooked for one candidate or the other, I don't think it's fair. The other thing is that we've made sure that all the candidates were talked to. Is their followers were at each other's throat. And over time, you realize that when they started, it was bad, but getting closer, you realize that things went down because at the end of the day, we're asking the candidates to speak to their followers and to make sure that they do not, say derogatory things against each other's candidates. At the end of the day, whoever wins, we're going to market the person and we're going to use the person's achievements. So whatever you say against that person can be used by the opposing side, which is my brother Tanko and the others, against that person. So that is something that I want to.
So do we understand that in this election, you've left everything in the hands of the Electoral Commission, or you have a role you are playing?
No, we don't have any role at all. In fact,
so in the end, if anybody has any issue, it will be about the Electoral Commission.
That's it. So nobody, even the committee, we do not have any representation at the regions. If there are any issues, whoever has an issue contacts the Electoral Commission as is done in the national election, and then they will resolve it. If it has to do with album or anything, it will be resolved by the Electoral Commission, unless, of course, they want to seek our intervention. Then they will call at the national headquarters where we have an operational team. You understand? So everything concerning election, electoral, and then when it comes to security, all of our security rests with the police. In areas where they think they are going to have problems like Boku and other places, they were going to liaise with the military to assist them, to give maximum protection.
So at the 277 voting centers, the 332 polling stations, 332 polling stations, you leave it to EC and the candidate's rep, but you as the committee don't have an eye there.
Not that we don't have an eye. The point is that we have done all that it takes, and therefore we believe the EC has the wherewithal to do the work that we've asked them to do. What is important is getting the ballot papers, getting the albums which have been verified, exhibited, and all that by all the candidates. And then also to make sure that the processes are followed. Of course, when the process is followed and there's a problem, it is for the rep to draw the attention of the presiding officer. And then the EC chairperson also assured us that at the close of the day, if any malfeasance or any practices go on in a particular polling station where she thinks it will undermine the electoral process, she is ready to annul that particular polling.
That's sort of a caution to the candidate and
everybody, including all the reps and all those who are campaigning for. And then we've all accepted it as it is. The police also assured us that because they are taking over, if you go and mess up, they are ready to take you in and keep you in their cells.
So whilst the process is ongoing, if anybody has a complaint, how do they resolve it?
You have a complaint at the police station. Either your name is not in the register, which is the only thing you can complain about. And if your name is not in the register, you complain to the EC person. But at the end of the day, we did exhibition and all that. And I don't think anybody would walk in there and say, my name is not in the register.
Okay.
We've done validation. We've done exhibition. And then also we give the booklets to all hard copies to all the constituencies for people to go make sure their names. So for us, God being so good,
right.
the system and the situation should.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kwabena Abankwayeboah. But before you go in 30 seconds, what do you make of this suit that is seeking for you guys to expand your electoral college to every member of the party getting a right to vote, instead of keeping to this expanded, which is 211,000, almost 212,000 voters?
So before then, let me just say a few words about reconciliation.
Okay.
And all that. I've always believed that a good leader is that person who accepts defeat easily and is ready to reconcile. Likewise, as my brother said, the person who wins should have the wherewithal to pull others together. This election is a test situation, and we all will know whether we have good leaders when people lose out, the way they will behave and how they will get themselves back into the party.
Okay.
Likewise, the leadership.
All right.
And for us as a party, we believe that everything is the elephant. Therefore, when you win or you lose, you come under the elephant and help. Now, the issue of expanding the delegates, I think that as is done in Parliament, Parliament is a representation of all the constituencies and people within the constituency. Likewise, our constitution and the party. So the delegate system is a representation, and it helps us in an operational ability. And therefore, we believe that expanding at this stage, is not what we want. We rather want to make sure that what we have achieved by the little expansion, we have almost 215 or 11 delegates. We make sure that we rather use them to the benefit of the party and its operations.
Thank you very much. Those who have joined us this morning for this discussion on Newsfile, and don't go anywhere because our coverage will continue with Evans Mensah and the crack team, Winston Amwa and the rest of them, MFR, all of them are here. Fatima Abubakar, former Minister for Information and spokesperson to His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was here earlier. She left a while ago. Dr. John Osai Kwapong, Democracy and Development Fellow, CDD Ghana, and Project Director, the Democracy Project. Kwame Akufo was supposed to join us. He couldn't do so. Kwabena Abankwayeboah is Vice Chairman, Presidential Elections Committee of the NPP. He's former National Treasurer of the NPP. Sofo Tanko Rashid, Computer Deputy National Director of Elections and IT of the NDC, and he's the CEO of GIFEC. Dr. Arthur Kobina Kennedy, physician and political activist, has also been with us. Thank you very much. We'll write here, MFR Adeti. She joins us now. So good afternoon and welcome. I'm sure you've been enjoying it and you wish, like I was wishing this morning, that I would just sit in my room and enjoy your analysis.
Quite a pleasure and an honor.
I wanted to ask you that. How old was he?
Quite a job done.
Right. Okay.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to our special coverage of the New Patriotic Party presidential primaries. Now, this afternoon, more than 200,000 delegates across the country are deciding who leads the NPP into the next general election. Voting is taking place in all 276 constituencies and other special voting centers, making this one of the party's most extensive and closely watched internal contests. The outcome of today's exercise will not only shape the future leadership of the